Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about farming percentages of rewards that you get, or more of a coherent sentence that I can't think of right now. But before we get into it, hit the like button, subscribe and all that fun stuff. So if you don't know how to legendary loot farm in this game, it's fairly simple. You want to go somewhere where there is an elite enemy, whether that's inside an abandoned mine, out in the open, on a quest, etc, etc. Before you kill this person, you want to change the difficulty to very hard, save the game, then kill them. If you don't get what you want, reload, do it again over and over again. So typically you'll get an enemy down to one shot. As you can see on screen right now, I found this nice little guy that just sacrificed everything for me because I killed him over and over and over for pretty much an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less than that. So I wanted to kind of just roughly see how many rewards you're getting that are legendary, that are purple, that are blue, etc, and what kinds of things drops. And I actually have come to a conclusion about farming which is a little bit interesting but also sucks at the same time. As I was doing this over and over again, I started to notice that the same weapons and the same rarities were dropping over and over again. So I'd get a melee knife, for instance, and it would be the same knife dropping again multiple times but with different kind of additives to it. So you might get one that gets like double melee damage and then another one that, you know, causes bleed. So it's the same weapon type and the same rarity with slightly different perks. So I think and I feel, and I can't prove this right now, but every single elite that you load into, no matter where it is, has a loot pool of specific items that is generated on the entrance to fighting that elite. So if you're going through a door, if you're flying to a planet and you find one in open, as soon as you make that decision to load in all the people and all the loot and stuff, that elite spawns with a certain amount of items and that's it. So I've been looking for a Big Bang, a legendary version. I haven't seen a Big Bang drop once on any elite that I've ever went to. So I think if there is legendary Big Bangs, which I assume there is, I think you have to find an elite that has that loot pool once you land on the planet. Now, I don't know whether certain elites have certain loot pools as it stands, but I feel like because everything's randomly generated, it's probably going to be that as you enter a doorway or you fly to a planet, the loot is generated in that elite before you even get there, but as you make that decision. So you can't necessarily target farm. I mean, you can pick a target and just keep farming it over and over again, but you're going to have a limited amount of rewards because certain things are not going to be in that loot pool. And again, I have no conclusive evidence, but I just kept seeing the same things popping up over and over and over again. And then I started to think, that's a bit strange. Okay, let's talk about this run. So I pretty much took my time with it. I feel if I rushed it and just been a bit more vigilant, I could have probably got an extra 30 kills on this enemy, but overall I had 106 kills, so 106 attempts at loot. In that we have 85 blues, we have 32 purples and 7 legendaries. So not bad rates, to be honest, though I have had more. And after I finished this recording, when I thought, okay, that's enough, let's look at what the stats are, the next 3 kills were all legendary, but I didn't want to count them because I made the decision to end it there. So it doesn't seem like there's any specific percentage in terms of drop rates, but obviously it's always going to be that the lower the rarity, they're going to appear more often. So let's talk about those blue rewards. Now I could have went very specific with what type of armors and stuff drop, but I just put it into weapons and armor. So in the armor, there's 39 blues. That includes helmets, spacesuits, backpacks. And then for the weapons, there was 46 total weapons. 36 of them were guns and 10 of them were melee. And one thing that I noticed was this elite that I was specifically killing had so many melee weapons, and even the perks on the guns were to do with meleeing and gun bashing. So I think this elite spawned the loot pool of melee like items being the main thing that it drops. And for purples, and I genuinely thought I'd get more purples than I did, there was 14 armors, there was 8 guns and 10 melee weapons, so 18 weapons altogether. So again, more melee weapons than I even expected. So that determines to me that this elite specifically has melees, and it's the same with the legendaries too. With the legendary weapons, I had 1 gun. With the legendary armor, I had 3 armors. With the legendary melees, I had 3 melees. So again, more of a push towards the melee type weapons in this loot pool of this person. But 7 legendaries, not that great. I've done this plenty of times before and I usually get more legendaries. I think I just got unlucky. And like I said, the next 3 of all of those drops were all legendary. So if I'd carried on just for a little bit more, I would have had 10 legendaries, but I ended it where I ended it and I wanted to give those results. So let's look at those legendaries that I got and see if they were any good. So first and foremost, we have the assisted carry advanced Deimos pack. And it has 52 physical, 50 energy, 54. I still don't even know what this means. That could just mean protection against them. But we've got airborne and radiation improved. You're going to be affected by them less. It's a 6.1 mass, which is pretty good to be honest for a backpack. Then we've got technician, minus 15% damage from robot enemies, lead lined, plus 25 radiation resistance, and assisted carry drains 75% less O2 when running while in combat, and it's a basic boost pack. Not one that I would choose to use, but it definitely is pretty good. Next up, we have the concussive barrow knife, and this is obviously a melee. Anti-personnel, plus 10% damage against humans, med theft, chance that humans drop extra med packs on death, and concussive, small chance to knock down targets. I think if you were doing a melee build or an unarmed combat build, this would be unbelievable. You get to knock people down and you get med packs for all the damage that you take for running in. Pretty damn incredible. Then we have another piece of armor, the repulsing space trucker space suit. That was hard to say. And we got all those things up there, but mainly the perks are combat veteran, minus 15% damage from human enemies, liquid cooled, plus 25 thermal resistance, and repulsing, 5% chance to disarm nearby attackers. I've never seen this perk work, so this for me, I want to wear this just because of how it looks, because I think this is one of the ugliest spacesuits in the entire game, but I did get it to drop. Next up, another piece of armor, mirrored advanced bounty hunter spacesuit. We got combat veteran, minus 15% damage from human enemies, liquid cooled, plus 25 thermal resistance, and mirrored, 4% chance to reflect attacks. Again, a perk that I haven't seen work before. It probably does, but I haven't seen it work. But it's got some heavy stats up the top there for thermal and physical and energy and EM and all that stuff. Pretty damn good. I actually kept this. I'm going to put it on a mannequin if I've still got it. I think I've still got it. I'm going to put it on a mannequin in my house. Then we have the shattering wakizashi. Instigating deals double damage to targets with full health. Incendiary randomly deals incendiary damage, and shattering break through even the strongest armor. So again, unarmed combat, this is going to be your friend. Then we have the frenzy combat knife, and it's got instigating, again, deal double damage with full health. Incendiary again, but this time we've got frenzy. So you can see very similar to the wakizashi. So that's what I was saying before about very similar types of weapons in the loot pool. And then last but not least, I lost the footage for the gun. It was a shotgun. It wasn't particularly good. So I just thought that those extra 3 legendaries, one of them was a melee, so I thought I'd throw that one in as well. And that's a frenzy barrow knife too. Anti-personnel plus 10% damage against humans, med theft, and frenzy. So those are the things that I got, bar one, but then I threw in an extra legendary for you. So yeah, again, it seems like each elite will spawn with a loot pool that has items which are similar. So if I find an elite that has pulse weapons in their loot pool as their main thing, I may be able to get a big bang. So while you're grinding for legendaries, just keep an eye on what you're getting, because if you keep getting the same similar things, this elite isn't for you. You'll have to find someone else to grind. And yeah, I put a lot of work into this. This was a long ass video, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's, you know, interesting at least to listen to. Let me know down below in the comments section. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome. Hit the like button, all that stuff. Bye.